Hi all and welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today we're going to do issue 82 of Build the Classic Routemaster, and quite a bit to do in this issue, so I want to get started straight away, so let's get modelling. Okay, so the first thing it actually asks you to do in this issue is we need to unplug some cables from the circuit boards. Now, they want the M cable, the H cable and the J1 cable removing from the circuit board. Now, I've already done this because my bus is right behind me and it's an absolute age to move it. I've actually removed them prior to recording, so they're there nice and in place. But so the first thing we need to do, we need to bring across this cab roof that we've been working on, and it wants us to get the H cable. So let's get the H cable, and basically we've got this little LED, and we need to push it into this hole down here, and I presume this will be for the cab light. Okay, so now we've done that. Next we have this tiny piece here, and we're going to be pushing it through the wires on the LED cable and into place, just like that, if you can see that. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to grab the M cable, which is this one here. And we've got this sort of detail here, and what it wants us to do, it wants us to just sort of place this into here. Now let's have a look. Just wondering if it can only go in one way. Let's have a look. Okay, so it goes in just like that, and then what we need to do, let's just push it back in again because it wants to come out. What we need to do then is we need to place this in place. Now I'm just looking at this cable and I think it goes this way around, to tell you the truth, but it doesn't want to go that way, so let's just keep it in the way the magazine has it. Okay, and then we need to put it into place on these two screw holes here, but we need to slot it through that little peg we've just done. So that's just gone in there now, and then we need to secure that in with 2 EM screws. Now we need the EM screws that we were supplied in with the last issue, so let's get 2 EM screws out. These are absolutely tiny, so I'm going to have to use my PH00 screwdriver while we screw this in to place, and I believe that's a switch for the cab light. That's the first one in, and let's get the second. That got in nice and easy, no need for some 3-in-1 oil on. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, we need to bring across this part here, and we need to bring across the J cable, and we just need to simply slot that into there, just like that. And then it's also now asking for the L cable as well, which is this black and white one, and again we need to slot that into there just like that. And then what we need to do, we need to bring this across, and we need to slot these in, slot these 2 holes just on the end. Now it's going to be a little bit fiddly this, because these wires won't want to stay in on their own, or should I say switches won't want to stay in on their own. What we'll do is best, so we get this bit and try and slot it down into it. Not that one's just come out. Try again. Slot it on and then down. And then we need to secure that in with 2 EM screws. So let me get 2 EM screws out. These are tiny, tiny screws. These EM ones. Get this bit and let's get the first one. The only difficult, tricky thing here is I've got to hold down on the piece while screwing this bit in. Look, that's screwing down now. I can let go of the piece. Hopefully it'll stay in place. And we'll put the second screw in. Definitely putting this piece in. Hopefully never to be removed. Okay, now that bit's done. I've got a spare EM screw then, so I'll just put it back in my screw pot. Okay, so the next thing it wants us to do is we need to do a little bit of wire tidying. Now there's sort of a channel on here, and that's where the wires are wanting to be to go. So what we'll do is we'll get all the wires. Now it does supply us with some tape for these, so we can secure these in place. But what I might do is I might get some spare electrical tape after we've done and probably sort out these wires properly. But it's very important that these wires are in these channels, because the last thing you want to be doing is getting one of the wires and then it nipping. So let's get the first piece of tape on. So that's the first piece of tape on, and we didn't hook on the black and white one, so let's just take that off and hook that black and white one on, which it is now. So try and using the channels on this, and then we just need to put another piece of tape just near the end, and that will tidy all these wires up nice and neatly. Just like that. Okay, so that's now been done. I'll just put that up there for a second. Turn the page of the magazine. Okay, so what we need to do next is we need to bring the upper deck of the bus across. So I've just got it down here. And here we are. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to put on now this bit here. We need to attach it to the bus, and let's make sure we get this on the right way. So it's going to basically go on like that, just making sure it lines up with the holes it should do, and then we need to screw that in with some screws we've supplied with this issue, which is FM screws, and we need to put in 4 FM screws to do this. Sorry about that, I just looked over at the computer and it's out of camera shot, so I do apologise about that. Now just looking at that and feeling that that needs probably a little bit, only a little dab of 3-in-1 oil. Just to make that go in a lot smoother. And I'm just going to grab a piece of kitchen roll and just mop up any 3-in-1 oil. So let's get the second screw in. Oh, wanted to fly away from me, that one. And screw that one in. That went in lovely. That's the third. Now we just need a fourth in. Get the fourth in. Just like that. Okay, just mop up any excess when you've done that. Next thing it wants us to do though is we need to wire tidy again. So let's get the tape, which is just over here, because we're just going to tidy up these wires so they're not everywhere. And there is a channel for them to go in on the upper deck chassis. So make sure you follow that channel. So that's the first one piece in. Just get the second bit of tape. Following that channel. So that's the second bit of tape in. Now the next bit, it needs two. So it wants one. At one side of these connectors here, and another at the other side. We'll get another piece of tape. Just gonna move them just sort of all together there, so I can get this piece of tape in. Right, that's the last, and then we've just got a bit of tape just at the end. And there we go, that's the piece of tape in. So I'm just going to move that to one side for now, because the next piece we need to work on is actually a piece that was coming in this issue, this lovely nice bit of red here. This is metal, so this is going to add some really massive weight onto it, but that looks absolutely fantastic. And what we need to do is going to be a little bit fiddly, this part, but we've got this tiny little handle here, and we need to push it down into the hole just here. But then we've got this sort of locking pin. It's very small. I'll see if I can show you on the close-up camera. This little tiny piece here to lock this handle in. So, sorry, the mouse does not want to behave. Just try and get to build camera. There we go. So let's try and do this by hand. If not, we'll get the tweezers out. So it's a case of pushing that handle in while trying to get this bit in, and it's stuck to me somewhere. There it is. I think they could have thought of an alternative way of doing this, really, but right, I'm going to have to get the tweezers out because it is just too fiddly. So let me get my tweezers. Sorry if I'm not talking when I do this, guys. I'm just really trying to concentrate on this tiny piece and getting it on. Oh, that just pinged. Alright, let's have a... No, this is really not going to plan at all. Right, I'll get this on and come back to you guys. Okay, so I've got that on now. That took about 10 minutes. That was really difficult to do. I have to admit that one. So right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to bring this sort of handle across. Now I'm just working out which way they've got it in the orientation, and it's that way. And then we need to screw this in with 2 red EM screws. So I'm just going to check. No, I think I'm going to use my Wary PH00 screwdriver for those. Now the only thing I can see about these screws is they might be going in an angle because of the handle. Didn't mean to rhyme that. I've got one in, so it definitely needs that PH00 screwdriver. So let's get the second one in. And that's the second one in. And then what we need to do, we need to bring back over the bus, because we need to fit this bit in place. So I believe it's going around like that. We'll line up the holes, and this one's securing in with 4 FM screws. So I've got one here left over, and then I've got some in my pot that is sent in the previous issue. Make sure that's going down, which it is not. Let's try and get this out. There we go. Right, let's try and get this lined up. Right. That is definitely lined up. Yeah, I can feel that screw sort of biting. I think. No. So let's just try and line it up in a different place for the first screw, and then we'll come back to that one. Let's go for this one. Yep, that's definitely securing down. Let's bring some more FM screws. So that's another one in. Another. That's in. Then we'll go to that last one. It should be lined up now. Yeah, and that's going in perfectly. And that is issue 82 done. And yeah, bit of a long video, couple of I had to do stop and start again, but yeah, that is all nicely in place now. Well, that's it for this issue of Build the Classic Routemaster, issue 82. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and watching this build. This bush is really now starting to come together, and it's going to be interesting over the next few issues how the bush grows and develops. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this. But if you did like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always, guys, stay safe and bye for now.